What's going on, guys? Sorry I have been very inactive the last few weeks. As you can see, it's extremely dark, usually first thing in the morning at 6 a.m. when I'm going to work. So it's not the greatest light for videos, but regardless, I know it's Father's Day in the US at the moment. It's not in Australia, but I still wanted to do a little Father's Day video to share my love for my dad and what he's done for us. So Dad, I wanted to thank you for going to work every day and providing for our family while my mum stayed at home and looked after myself and my sister. I want to thank you for never asking for anything in return, even though you absolutely deserved it. I want to thank you for modeling to me what type of man one should be. A man that speaks his truth, a man that stands up for himself, a man that works hard and creates, a man that doesn't whinge and complain. I might have whinged and complained in the past, but I've learned to be grateful for what I have, and that's something he showed me. I want to thank you for spending decades away from your family overseas so you could be with yours, of which I am one of 2 children. I want to thank you for doing whatever it was that you could to do the right thing by me and the rest of our family. For taking us down to the pool of an afternoon. For taking us for walks. For providing for us, taking us on holidays. For putting food on the table. For loving my mother. I want to thank you for just biting the bullet and putting me through school, even though I cost you a shitload of money, and it may not have amounted to much from an educational sense because I didn't go on to uni. Maybe a good thing, since we know what we know about university these days, even though for many it is still a necessary evil to get into their field, and I respect those people that tolerate it. I want to thank you for being a pillar of your community and looking after other people and being kind and being honest and being respectable. I want to say thank you for being a gentleman. I want to say thank you for the fond memories, for every single time that there's this one particular picture, and I don't know where it is, but the memory is burned in my mind for all of eternity. This is something I will remember on my deathbed. It's a photo of me with my dad before he went, old and grey from stress, and he still had his dark pigment in his hair, even though he was balding, like his chip off the old block here. And I was a little chubby little toddler kid, and I was just bursting with happiness, and it was just exploding from my face, metaphorically of course. And he was just holding me around my hips in the toddler's pool, and he was behind me, and I could just see the look of pride and joy in his face at being there with his son. That's something that will stick with me forever. I remember the one time when, I was home and he actually yelled at my mum for something. And I came in and, having a natural inbuilt white knight defense, I screamed at him for going off my mum, but I didn't realize that he was just at the end of his tether, and that he shut his mouth for so long for his family that he had a moment of that wasn't a moment of weakness, it was just a moment of overflow of what he was holding in, because he knew that that's what he had to do to keep the family balanced. And this is something people don't get. You know, when men show their feelings all the time, that doesn't help the people around them. It doesn't make the people around them feel more loved and excited, because if men showed their feelings all the time about what we have to deal with, then we'd be pretty fucking toxic people to be around. I gotta be real with you. You men know this. Ladies will never understand what it is that a man goes through, what a man does for the people he loves, what a man does for his family. Ladies will never understand how important it is, because ladies can just, you know, cry and sob and complain and say that they feel hurt and say they don't feel understood. We can't do that, because the very people that do those things around us and expect to be understood and listened to and nurtured in those times of upset are the very same people who will turn their backs on us when we do the same. I remember when I used to go to school, my dad sent me to boarding school. It cost me a shitload of money, me and my sister. He shut up and provided. He gave and gave and gave. Right? When my mum decided, you know, my dad always knew that my mum had wanted to go to a different town from the one that we grew up in eventually. And my dad said to my mum after they were well and truly retired, you know, in their 70s, which they still are, he said, do you still want to move to this place? She said, yes, I do. He said, well, let's do it while we're still young enough to, right, before it's too late. So he bought her the house that she wanted. Just bought it. He bought it with the money they saved, because he didn't splash out, he didn't splurge, he sacrificed, he worked hard, he gave of himself for us. Right? He's not some rich oil tycoon. He's not some, you know, big fat cat smoking cigars in, you know, in the corner office on the 100th floor of some glass building in the middle of some metropolis. No. He's just a humble man who left his country that he grew up in search of a better life. He's just a humble man who came halfway across the globe to find a place that he could maybe find and raise a family. He's just a humble man who never asked for things for himself. Very rarely did he ever request anything that wasn't for his family. He's just a humble man that grew up in a humble small town and gave to others and loved his family and showed that through his actions, not his words. So I just wanted to say thank you, Dad. Words will never express what you mean to me. Appreciate you guys, and you know, I hope this inspires you to share with your dad how much you love him, or maybe even reach out and contact him if you didn't get a chance to have a dad while you were younger. Appreciate you men. I'll see you next time. Peace.